As you know, you're a Patreon supporter of the show, so you are familiar with the secret word. And so I've got for the listeners, I've got a secret word that my guest here will not see. And so just for the listening audience, that the ones not watching this on YouTube, and by the way, we do put these episodes out on YouTube. So if you'd like to check us out there and see my guest's smiling face, you can do that. He's got some nice mood lighting behind him. So you can enjoy that view. But I've got a secret word. And so verify for the audience that you can't see anything. I'm not showing you anything, and I haven't told you about the word.
That's correct. I cannot see anything, Matt, at all.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. So if I can get you to say this word throughout the podcast, one lucky patron member will be receiving a prize. And as a Patreon supporter of the show, so thank you for being one of those Patreon members. You also know we've got an amazing sponsor of the podcast, and I know that you're familiar with them because I've seen their tools in your shop. So Surf Prep is a proud sponsor of this podcast. How long have you been using Surf Prep stuff?
I bought my 5-inch about a year ago. Actually, over a year ago when we built our I built our kitchen table. And I was like, you know what? The little Bosch you buy at Lowe's, this thing gonna kick it on this 8-quarter white oak. And everybody was like, hey, try Surf Prep. So I was like, I'll give it a whirl. And I haven't looked back since. It's great.
No, they're fantastic. I threw away a bunch of Bosch sanders when I indulged myself in the Surf Prep community.
Don't tell my kids, but I gave my kids the Bosch. I said, here, boys, have fun.
Right.
Destroy this one.
Yeah. It's always good to practice on something. And then you when you get the nice sander, you're like, oh, this is why he's always with that sander.
Yeah, for real. It's definitely changed the game in my shop a lot.
So one of the nice benefits of Surf Prep being a sponsor of the podcast is I get to give a code out. So if you're interested in any sanders, abrasives, dust extractors, you can head over to surfprepsanding.com and use the code MakerLounge, all one word, for 10% off. And when you use that code, it helps me fund my Amazon Prime Anonymous Foundation. I have a problem.
Me too.
Yeah. My wife posted something the other day on her stories or something. It was like something about, it's a boring day when you have no packages arriving or something like that.
Right.
It's what brings us joy in life.
It's definitely the UPS man. We live in the middle of nowhere on a dead end road. So the UPS is man like, oh, great. Them again. Can't you just order all at once? Like I don't have to come one time,
Right. So the secret word is not Surf Prep related, but thank you to Surf Prep for sponsoring this podcast. Also, if you want to be part of the Patreon Maker Lounge community, head over to patreon.com/Maker Lounge podcast.
It's a good time.
It's great times.
Yes,
Mike's
it
there.
is.
Speaking of Mike.
Yes. It's about that time to sit back and enjoy a podcast. The Maker Lounge podcast. Brought to you by Matt Davoll with Vulcan Woodworking. Peek out on the show today, Matt.
Well, isn't that a fun surprise?
Yeah, man.
He's a master HVAC mechanic of 29 years, but he's not here to talk about boring stuff like condenser units. This guy is a man of many talents, and I have it on good authority, juggling is not one of them. That may explain how his lead indeed got broken. He does, however, juggle his time being a husband and father of 2 boys, along with making some incredible projects in the shop. Mike Holmes with Broken Lead Woodworks is in the lounge.
Mike Holmes with Broken Lead Woodworks. Hey, now. Thank you.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah, that took me about 30 takes to do.
Yeah.
And I finally settled on that one. And, people tell me I have a radio voice, and some people tell me I don't, but I tend to think I have a baritone attributes to myself.
Yeah. And I have a face for radio. I got a beard for TV and a face for radio.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't help but use your audio. I used it a couple episodes ago. You probably heard that.
Yeah, I heard that. And I let my wife listen to it too. She's OMG, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, sorry.
You've made it.
Your 49-year-old husband's a star.
That's right. So, speaking of stars, you have a good following on Instagram. So people in the HVAC community, do they see you pop up on their feed and say, wow, I didn't know you were so famous?
A couple people I work with follow me, and they're like, "Are you really?" I'm like, "Yeah, sadly, yeah, really." And yeah,
don't let them fool you. They're impressed by you.
Well, for sure. But I set a goal out last year, and I had like 900 followers. I was like, you know what? I want to get 5,000 followers this year. That'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then the real bonuses came. And I was like, what? You going to pay me to do this, Chuck? Okay.
Right.
And so I jumped in head first doing that. And then they swiftly took that away. And whatever. I mean.
So you were at 900 followers a little over a year ago?
January of 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Now you're at 77,000?
Almost at 78.72, I believe, but that's been the last 2 weeks. Oh my God. I was like going Cakesville up until 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden it's starting to go back up again.
Oh,
and I don't know if it's the blue check. I did have a reel hit 1 million last week, which was actually a repost of the old reel. And I didn't care about the watermark. I just let the watermark in there. Like, whatever, take it. And I just don't put much into it now.
Yeah, I think the community is pretty much feeling that same sense of burnout. We talked about burnout a little bit, in the past.
When I go out to my shop now, which here lately has just been on weekends, like tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I'll be in my shop. Not having to worry about the camera angles or cutting on the phone or whatever. And just working. I put on my headsets, I cut on the radio, or cut on a podcast, the Maker Lounge podcast, and I just go to work, And it's been so refreshing just to be able to make and get on with it.
Right.
And if I find, if I'm going through there and I'm like, you know what, I ought to share this. Like last week, I shared a sandpaper tip, to where if you needed a couple pieces of sandpaper, you take this little 1/4-inch punch we use and pump gaskets, and just knock a hole in your sandpaper, and there's your dust collection holes, and bing bang boom, you're done.
Oh yeah.
So I'll share this tip, and so that's what I did, and I don't mind doing that. But everybody's seen a flush trim, everybody's seen you cut a piece of wood. I'm not going to record it because I've already got a library of those things. I'm just going to repost those.
Yeah, I think that's most everybody in the community who jumped on the Reels bonus has over a year's worth of footage that we've talked about it before, but it's people, once like 2 weeks passes, that those same people aren't going to see it again. So it's reaching a whole new audience.
And I've got a YouTube channel, like 410 subscribers. I wish I had time to put more time into YouTube.
Right.
I've got several videos on my computer that are ready to be edited. Like last year's table build, I videoed the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
I haven't had time to edit it and bring it together.
Right.
Now that I've got a few different programs, I'm starting to learn a little bit more. And I bought an iPad this year, earlier this year, to really help me with editing. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that point, and be able to share more. I can share that sandpaper tip.
Right.
Quick little video on YouTube, shared it. I went to the end shot and did a little, thumbnail, boom, done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a father too, and my focus is my family. And I noticed last year, especially when we were doing the Reels bonuses, even up to April, I gotta get the video out. And now it's like,
Right.
9:30 at night, I'm sitting on the couch. Let's throw this up there. Throw it up there and let's see what happens. Whatever. Feed the algorithm. Feed the beast. And that's
feed the beast. You got to feed the beast.
Feed the beast.
It's hungry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So how did you get started in the in woodworking? You've been in this a while?
Yeah. Well, it was the summer of 1982.
I feel like I should have some like string music or something playing.
It was
Some whimsical music.
Yeah. We were living in South Carolina, and they were building houses on our street. And I was a kid who always wanted to take apart stuff. I always wanted to fix stuff. I always wanted to just see how things work. And they were building a house. I kept on hearing these hammers, bang, bang, bang. I was like, what are they doing? So I went in there, and the contractor was like, hey, kid, you want to make $5? Yeah. He said, go get you a hammer. So I come back with a hammer. I was like 9 years old. Come back with a hammer, and the dude's like, here's a box of nails. I want you to put a roll of nails in this room on this subfloor. I'll pay you $5 a day.
Nice.
So I did that all summer. That kind of got me, I guess you call it woodworking.
Right.
But 8th grade, Mr. Cochran's wood shop. That's where I took up woodworking, my first real taste of woodworking, and put my thumb to the bandsaw. It was a good time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look, it's just a little nick. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But we made the bookshelves. We made the patterned router templates of like welcome friends with a duck on a piece of wood. The stuff you take to your grandma, your mom. Look, I made this for you.
Right.
And my grandmother, until she passed away, had my welcome friends hanging up in her house right there by the door.
Wow.
That's about 8 years ago before she passed away. So it's
wow.
yes, that was my first taste of it. I've always been one who, if I can do it, I'm going to do it.
Right. I still have my first project. Well, not my first project. One of my projects from woodshop class in middle school. And on the back of it, written in big red letters, is a C+. Yeah. And I still remember the kid who always got the A's. His name was Davoll. And I was like, this dude, his projects, like came from the factory. They were sanded slick and everything. I'm like, I can't compete with this guy.
Right.
I'm good with a C+.
We had everybody in our class was building speaker boxes for their pickup trucks and their Jeeps and everything else. And we had to buy them. We had to pay for the wood. We had a plethora of wood. Here, take the wood, build stuff. Oh, cool. We gotta build stuff.
Right.
And I had bookshelves. We built bookshelves and stuff. And that got my taste into it. And then adolescence and teenage years and your early late 20s, I was like, well, I guess delivering pizzas isn't going to cut the mustard when it comes to living on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, my mother was like, hey, heat and air conditioning.
Right.
Okay, cool. So for $6.85 an hour, I would become a helper for a few years, and that was 29 years ago.
Wow.
Time flies. Fart. Yeah, it does.
So you're in South or North Carolina?
I'm in Central North Carolina.
Central North Carolina.
More closer to Virginia than we are South Carolina. I'm north of Raleigh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get, it gets hot there, but it doesn't get it's not like Texas or Mississippi heat.
We had today was 74% dew point. It was 96 degrees with a heat index of 110.
Ooh.
You basically, you were drinking just to stay hydrated because you were sweating it out as fast as you were taking it in.
So you're busy right now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's gonna be even big. I got to shut down next week at a pharmaceutical facility I take care of. So next week's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So you're doing a lot of commercial stuff, or only commercial stuff?
I do all commercial industrial. I've been doing commercial industrial for 18 years now. I work on big stuff, 460 volt, 3-phase, pumps, you name it. I'm also the boiler man, so I do all the steam boilers and all the hot water boilers too. So,
oh wow,
kind of vast array of a lot of things.
Yeah. So I wonder what's better, working in the corporate side where you're dealing with like industrial buildings, or dealing with like residential.
I did residential for a long time, and I love my residential customers. But there's something about, okay, I'm fat and I'm old, and crawling up under somebody's house just doesn't appeal to me anymore. That and snakes. I'm not a big snake fan.
Right.
I've had my share of snake encounters under people's houses. I'm good. I'm good.
You've done your time.
I've done my pence, yes. So, doing commercial industrial, I deal with someone who they might sign the invoice or issue the PO, but they're not the one who's stroking the checks. They don't really care. Is it fixed or not? I was at a football field today for one of our local colleges, and the coach was like, "Hey, it's hot in here." Well, no, really? I didn't know that. So they're like, "Just fix it. It's fixed." Bing, bang, boom, done, and they were happy. I was happy. I left there. They were happy. Everybody's happy. So,
yeah,
I'll do residential for my own house. I'll do my mother-in-law's house, my parents' house, and close friends, and that's about it.
I can imagine, the whole homeowner thing, because I just had a AC unit replaced, our second AC unit replaced in our house this year, and having to go out and do those estimates, knowing that you're not going to probably get the job, just spending all that time, and then having to deal with the homeowner who's inspecting your work as you're doing the work.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm that homeowner. I'm a nosy homeowner. I mean, we just finished our upstairs up a couple months ago, and I did 90% of the work, but the 10% I didn't do, I was on top of like Zorro, like, hey, that's not right. Hey, that's not right. I did all the subfloor. I did the painting. I did all the heat and air conditioning, all the duct work, all the trim work, all the mill work. I did all that myself. I only farmed out the framing and insulation, and we hired a crew to do the sheetrock, but they suck.
Yeah.
And so I had to hire another guy come in here to fix it. And that kind of, that was, like I said, I'll do anything. If I put my mind to it, I can do anything.
Right. So when did Broken Lead Woodworks start what's the background on that name?
Oh, geez. Well,
I feel like this is going to be a good one.
I thought about Handy Holmes. That was one part. And then I thought about, Mike Holmes, but I didn't want to be sued, because I'm sure the other Mike Holmes in Canada will be like, "Hey, I got that trademark in the U.S. too." Like, all right.
By the way, I'm putting his thumbnail on your episode.
Oh, cool. Thanks. I have luckily my brother's a lawyer and my brother-in-law is a lawyer, so I'll just forward it to them.
Right.
So that was that. And I was like, I told my wife, I was like, I don't want to be just like Woody's wood shop. I don't.
Right.
What's different? So I went on Fiverr, started nose around Fiverr, and started I hired somebody to do a logo, which came back and it sucked. I don't like that one. So then I was like, Broken Lead, because backstory, Broken Lead Woodworks used to be a holster business.
Oh, okay.
It used to be 98 Tactical Holsters. It used to be my Instagram page. It was a business from 2015 to about 2019. I was in several retail stores. I made Kydex holsters for all kinds of different things that go bang. And I don't know. I don't want to screw up the algorithm, dude.
Right.
So, and then my son was born. And I was in our garage. We had just built this house, and I was in our garage making these things in summertime, after work, sweating like a mule. And I'm hearing my newborn son in here cry and have a good time and laugh and play. And I thought to myself, what am I doing? My kid is in here growing up, and I'm out here trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
So I sold every bit of it. I sold all my molds, all my machinery, all my equipment, sold every bit of it.
Wow.
And came in here and spent time with him. I focused on my career a little bit more. I became master factory trained with the company I work for. So that helped out there. And then I built my shop. And then I was like, I got to have a hobby. I've got to be doing something. And so woodworking.
Yeah.
I've had a job saw, a chop saw, stuff like this all throughout my adult life. But it was time to, let's expand on that.
Right.
So that's what I did. And in fact, my job site table saw was a Black Friday special from Lowe's I bought in like 2009.
Oh, wow.
And I sold it exactly what I paid for it, like 3.5 years ago when I bought my old Grizzly, which I've already sold that to one of our patrons. Matt from Patriotic Pies is right up the street from me, so
okay.
Just took it to his house. And, hey man, you want to? So I got his grab boat. He got my table saws. Good times. And
nice.
yes,
that's a good trade.
Well, yeah, I since I've got a Harvey now, so that kind of, I still got a table saw. It's just I knew I was getting a Harvey. I didn't need 2 table saws, so I basically gave that to him. And so Broken Lead Woodworks. Get back on that tangent. Okay, come up with an idea. So I kept on nosing around. I was like, all right, I'm constantly breaking pencil lead in the shop, always. I don't care if it's Topeka, if it's a contractor's pencil, if it's a number 2 pencil. Yeah, my fat claws are constantly breaking pencil lead. I was like, Broken Lead Woodworks. That sounds pretty snazzy.
Yeah.
Of course, then people said broken lead. It's not it's lead. Not lead, it's lead. Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. So then I my first logo, which I don't have a sticker here, but the tip of the pencil wasn't broken, and there was no saw blade, so it made no sense. And then I reached out to a sticker company before the conference this year, and I was like, hey, can you help me redesign this? So, yeah, what you want to do? I said, well, I want to put a saw blade. So I went into Vetric. Was it Vetric or Canva? Maybe it was Canva. And I put a saw blade in there and moved around and broke the pencil lead. That's what I want. So that's what I went with. And I've been officially an LLC for a little over a year now.
Okay. Well, that's great. Yeah, I think that's when you and I first started talking. I think somebody
I get the pencil clips.
Yeah, somebody tagged me in one of your posts or something like that, and was like, "Oh, I think I know what you need." And so I reached out to you and I was like, "Hey, I think I got a solution to." I didn't want to change your business name, but yeah, the pencil clip is when we first started talking, I think.
Yeah, and then when they had the viral reel with people using different pieces of machinery to sharpen a pencil. I got it tagged in. So Luke from Luke in the Garage was like, man, you missed the opportunity. You should have been on top of that. Your name was Broken Lead. I was like, snooze you lose, man. I just didn't think about it, honestly.
Yeah.
My mind goes a mile a minute. Sometimes I forget to do stuff. So, stuff happens.
Yeah. Well, and as soon as you see 10 or 15 people posting it, it's like, okay, I kind of missed the trend already.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, it's not going on the social media path just yet, but it's like, again, it's like that right now. The viral sound is the ooh-wee, da-da-da-da-da-da, ooh-wee. Right. It's like, just please, God, someone. There should be a limit. There should be a sound limit. Once you reach X amount of shares or X amount of uses, that's it. You're done. The sound's done. You're gone. Bye. Thanks.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, everybody hops on that stuff. I do want to talk to you a little bit about that stuff, because I've chatted a little bit pre-show.
Yes, sir.
So we'll save some of that stuff maybe for the after show portion.
All right.
So we'll save the juicy stuff for the after show.
The juicy stuff.
Well, because as a patron, getting a little bit of extra value. I mean, that's what you're paying for, right?
That's right.
You're not paying for an extra, 20, 30 minutes of my voice. You want the juice.
Broken Lead spills the beans out on the after show. Stick around, folks. You might learn something you didn't know about Broken Lead.
Ooh. That's a good little teaser right there.
There's nothing here. I'm just an old fart who shouldn't be doing social media, personally.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? It's like, oh, why don't I start a podcast at, 43 years old?
Right.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean it's funny because when I do my reels, especially last year I did my reels, a lot of the music comes because I'm more of an audiophile, and I like old school music, old school hip hop, old school rap, old school rock and roll. So I'll sit there and I'll listen to a song and I'll see myself in a shop, doing something or doing this task, like, ooh, I can make that format work. Right. I go out there and do it. I'm like, this totally bombed. This is stupid. This is stupid.
Yeah. The broom guitar only works when the cameras aren't on.
Right. I did it. I did a broom reel. I'd be sweeping up dust into the floor collector on my dust collector, and I threw the dustpan in the trash, and I said, "See you around, dustpan. Have a good one." And I think that was one of the first reels I had that actually did pretty well a year and a half ago. So
who does a good job at getting the dancing reels going is Leoman.
Regal Street. Good old Lee. Yeah. yeah. He and I shared a couple adult beverages at the conference, and he's a good dude. I like Lee.
So you talked a little bit about tools. So you just got the Harvey table saw Alpha series.
Yeah, it's about a year ago, I went on Harvey's website, and they have their partnership program that you can sign up for, and if you want to be a partner with them, and I signed up for it. And I started talking to Jeremy, that's it. I know I didn't pay for it,
right?
But that thing is the well-built piece of machinery.
Yeah.
It's like they took everyone's ideas and they mashed it into their piece of equipment, and they didn't leave no stone unturned.
Right.
And I mean, I got the router table insert with the router fence, and I got a couple gripes. I got a couple gripes about it. But they're nothing crazy. The dust collection could be better, and that's probably my biggest gripe.
Yeah. I feel like that's on every tool.
Yeah. But I've got several reels, several videos in the hopper ready to go. I just got to do some voiceovers on them. And so I've been kind of slowly. Everybody's seen the assembly videos.
Right.
I didn't want to do another one of those. I didn't want to do another unboxing video. I kind of want to spice it up a little bit. So I figured when I took a hole saw and drilled a hole into the top of the brand new Harvey, I should get some people going.
Yeah. It's trigger alert.
Yeah. People are like, you just messed up your table saw. No, I didn't. I just made it easy for me for dust collection is all.
Yeah. I did the same thing when I did the Jessam hold downs on my saw stop, because you have to drill into the fence to install the tracks. And people that's so many people are commenting like, "Oh my God, you drilled into it's just a fence." Like, it's probably not even the best fence. So
right.
I had a I don't even know how to say this name. Biesmeyer fence on my Delta Unisaw. That I think was better than the saw stop one. So for me, I was like, I'll drill right into it. Not a problem. But it was a trigger for some people.
I ended up giving up my Jessam stock guides to my old table saw when I sold it to Matt, because the Harvey fence, the high-low, the high is a little too high for the Jessam stock guides. So I ended up just letting him have that, as well as my Incra miter gauge. Let him have that as well.
Right.
And
well, you have a Harvey one now. You got the MG36, right?
It comes with the table saw.
Yeah.
I opened the door. I was like, oh, well, I was expecting this. It's like surprise. I was like, cool. I was just going to keep my Incra. Yeah. And Jeremy was very, very transparent dude. I don't expect nothing out of you. Right. I just want your God honest opinion about it, and I want you to use it and share it. And if you got things you don't like, share that too, because we're here to improve it.
The great thing about it is he knows the quality is good. They know the quality is good of their product, and you can't help but not share it. Yeah. Like you have to share it because it's such a great. It's unlike those destructible shoes. They got back in my at DMs this week or last week. I was like, oh, you again? Yeah. They sent me another message, and I was like, respectfully, not my cup of tea.
That's what I told them. I said, they're just not my style. I'll never wear them because I don't like them. They're not something I would wear. Oh, try them anyway. Destroy some for us. I'm like, dude, I just never want to wear them.
Yeah. No, I have Rock Rooster boots, and they're the only pair of boots that I'll wear ever.
Really?
I like them. They're comfortable to me.
I've got a pair, and they're comfortable. I don't like a lot of things around my ankles, and I think maybe the style of boot I bought, they're too patty around my ankles, and I just wasn't a big fan. Yeah. So I don't, they actually sit in my closet. I wore them like twice. And
what size are they? I'll take them.
12.
Oh, too small.
Oh, excuse me, big dog.
Weird flex.
Pardon me there. I'm just too small.
Moving right along. So speaking of tools,
other news.
So yeah, you've started acquiring a nice tool collection over the years. What's your favorite tool?
My favorite tool. Well, I started getting some green tools last year. You
can say the name. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm turning into a Festool fanboy. I'm not gonna lie.
It's all right. It happens.
The quality. I mean, I bought a Domino a little over a year ago.
You said the word. So congratulations to Brent Jarvis of Cleancut Woodworking. You're the lucky patron winner. So if you want to be one of those winners, head over to patreon.com/Maker Lounge Podcast and sign up to be a Patreon member. I'll probably do these. I've done a few episodes where I do a giveaway. I'm going to probably skip one or two and come back to it. But yeah, congratulations, Brent. I'll be contacting you because Mike said the lucky word, Domino.
And I got one of Brent's sleds in my shop.
Yeah. Great guy. Fantastic product.
Yep.
Another great tool to have in the shop, along with the green ones. I cut you off, but you said the word.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that's my favorite tool. I'm not gonna lie. My little side pouch, I have a Sedgley that I got from Leather by Dragonfly. Mm-hmm. That thing it's on my hip, and I don't like aprons. I don't wear an apron because I'm a big dude and I just don't like aprons. If I had like a waiter's apron around my waist, I probably would wear that. But I like that little side pouch. It works for me. It does what I need to do. It's great.
Yeah.
I have to say that's probably my go-to tool because I keep a lot of my go-to tools in there.
So been putting a lot of green in the shop though?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Are you going all green or are you
no.
Like, what about drills and stuff like that?
I'm a Milwaukee guy, just because I started off with that battery platform.
Right.
I don't have any battery powered Festool stuff. I did do a giveaway last year and I gave away a CXS in a giveaway that I paid for. It wasn't given to me. And I was just kind of giving back because I was like, hey, I got real bonus money, so I might as well give some back. So that being part of the giveaway. I hated it too because I kind of like that drill, but I never used it because it was brand new. But
right,
but yeah, my Milwaukee for sure. I like that platform, but just because I've got several different tools now that will work for that battery.
Yeah. What tool do you have your eye on?
The biggest purchase I'm hoping to make probably by Christmas is a 4x8 Phantom CNC machine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're talking dirty lead now.
Yeah, I was at Nick and Landon's place in State of Wisco about 2 months ago, and Nick and Landon helped me do a job real quick, and that was to cut out a sign I was making for a customer, and I just fell in love with the Phantom.
Yeah, I saw those videos. Nick's a great guy as well. Just seems like he'd give the shirt off his back kind of person.
Him and Landon both are great people, and I consider them friends.
Yeah, and that Phantom. So I've been looking at the 4x4 just because of the size of my shop and everything. Right. And having a laser and a table saw and everything else, it's just I'm running out of space. But it would be nice to get that 4x4 with the rollers. The rollers are like a nice addition.
Yeah, Phantom's got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe that are going to be game changer for the woodworkers for sure. I was almost close to pull the trigger on the 4x8 about 2 months ago, to the point of just all I really had to do was just sign a piece of paper, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to do that.
Sleep on it.
Let me go. Yeah, because I'm at the point in my time in my business now where it's either I'm going to scale up and go forth and conquer,
right,
or I'm going to sit here and just kind of ride the idle wave, working a full-time job, balancing all of that. And to be honest, it's wearing me out.
You shared an audio file with me. Sent me an audio message after the burnout episode.
Oh yeah,
and so I know exactly where you're coming from. It's burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, man. Sometimes I'm holding two candles, and it's as much as I want to go full time right now, and I know darn well I could do it, because not only do I have the woodworking stuff, but if I had to, I could go do HVAC side work. I could go do that residential stuff to kind of close those gaps I'm looking for. And right now I'm building up my business income to where I have that little bit of a nest egg in the business, because I have yet to take a paycheck on my business. I've been just letting them up, putting money right back in the business, putting in the tools, software, microphones and headphones.
Right.
It's just, that's work sometimes. And, it's just doing those things that are really where I'm at. And hopefully January 2024 is when I say, peace out, HVAC.
Nice. Yeah, because you have 30 years at that point, huh?
Well, it'll be 30 years August, but 30 years March. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No, sounds like a great plan. Do you mind if I share that audio message with folks?
Sure.
I didn't know if that was your intent initially when you sent it. But so for the audience, I had done a burnout episode and talked about doing content creation, and basically what Mike's talking about is burning the candle at both ends, where you're trying to do this content creation thing, trying to do the side business, you got a full-time job. So basically you're running 3 jobs, sometimes 4 jobs, because content creation, you're the writer, the actor, you're the talent, you're the editor, the producer, everything. And so it's a lot of steps. So let me play that message real quick.
Hey, Matt, I really enjoyed the episode, and thank you so much for sharing, opening up. Dude, I experience burnout more often than I want to. I get depressed a lot. It's just, you feel like you get overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, I want to be the best dad, the best husband, the best woodworker, the best HVAC guy, the best friend. My friends call and they got issues. I want to be there. I want to be there for them. I don't want to leave nobody hanging. And sometimes things have to give, and I have to remind myself that it's okay not to be there every second of the day, and to be able to tell people no, which helps me out a whole lot. As long as my kids and my wife look at me and they're proud of me, nothing else matters to me. I define that as success. Was it Jerry Maguire? If your heart is full, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Take care, man. Can't wait till the next one. Later.
Such a great message. I mean, I appreciate you letting me share that. And I think that's a message that a lot of people need to hear, because there's a lot of people in the same boat.
Yeah, it's and I find myself even now, my wife is sitting beside me or something, and we're both on our phones, and it's, just want to we need to get to a point where we just put our phones down and have our time. And I know it, I realize it, and I've got to make a change there. But the biggest thing is making sure my boys, I don't want my kids to wait to, all right, my 7-year-old is not technically my son. He's our nephew. We're his legal guardians, have been his legal guardians since he was 6 months old. But he lives with us, and so I consider him my son.
Oh yeah.
And as long as I know that when they look at me and they say he's a great dad, that's all I care about. And I want my wife to say my husband's a great man. I do dishes, I do laundry, I clean the house, I do all these things to help her out. It's not because I want to make her feel bad. It's because I want to help her out. I want to make her life a little bit easier on because I know she's got a lot on her plate too.
Right.
So excuse me. So when I get home from work, I just don't go jump to the shop. I come in the house and take the trash off, take the trash out, pick up, do laundry, whatever. So therefore, I know gonna have a better evening when she gets home, but she's not so overwhelmed herself.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, I know that the push for Instagram, the push for the social media stuff it's nice because it's validating something that we're enjoying doing. Yeah. And I know a lot of the times we get that validation from those people, and that's what fuels us to keep driving forward to reach that next goal. And you seem like a results driven person, like I am, trying to reach for that next thing. So it's like now you're at 70, almost 78. It's like, okay, 100K is next, right? Like you got it in your sights, and trying to think about what's the end goal, right? Because like once you reach the 100K, then there's another goal behind it.
A year ago, yeah, I would say that's what I was driving for. I was like, all right, how high can I really go?
Right.
And now I just really don't care. I don't care. The follower, I mean, I appreciate all the followers. I appreciate the engagement. The biggest thing I appreciate is the friendships. Right. And when we went to that conference a few months ago, it was weird because I was like, I feel like I knew almost everybody there already.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, nice to meet you. It's like, yeah, I know all about you.
Right. Yeah.
It's
I've been
like
stalking you for years.
Yeah, we've been stalking each other. And have people come up to me and go, "Hey, you're white." Yeah, well, I'm him. How's it going?
Yeah. Turn your name badge around, sir, please, so I can see who you are.
Yeah. Hey. Hi. Yeah. And it's like, all right, so I bought my first house, just real quick. Bought my first house in 2009 out of foreclosure. I paid $90-some thousand for this 2-bedroom, 2-bath house on like acre and a half of land. The bank actually paid my closing costs, and I had to write a check for like $5. This was during the .com bust, and everything was for sale, and there was a fire sale and all that. I went through, remodeled the entire house, and I wish I knew about YouTube, or at least recording what I was doing then, because I did the front porches, the back porches, the decks, the walls, the doors, the siding. I painted. We did all kinds of stuff on this house. And I wasn't even married yet. And I hadn't even met my wife yet. But this was, and we got married. We turned around and sold the house and made like a truckload of money off this house, which helped us build our now house. But the point being is that, not only, you got woodworking, and you have making, but honestly, people, if you can you can do anything you put your mind to. And I've always had that mentality. I always will. I can sit here and problem solve and think in my head what it is it's going to take to get this job done. I get a list of what I need to do step by step in my head, and I execute. I go do it.
So, what are the plans for the future? You say if you're going to go, do this full time, is it going to be more like signs and that type of thing? You're going to scale up and do bigger projects? Like what's your focus?
I really think my focus is going to be more to cater to the small businesses, and cater to I like furniture, but I don't want to build furniture.
Yeah.
It's a table's a table's a table. A cabinet's a cabinet's a cabinet. And sure, if people want to pay me, I'm doing a banquet right now for a family friend for their lake house. I should be wrapping up this weekend. It's a good paying gig, but I also did a drive-through stand for a local coffee shop. I enjoy doing that more because I'd have to be so fussy with it because it was going to be outside in the weather. So it's like, all right, just got to make sure it's durable, it holds up, and, it will stay this way for at least a few years until it needs to be sanded back and refinished. Right. But catering to small businesses, I mean, I've done a ton of signage, and it's like, am I not going to be the sign guy?
Yeah. Signs are fun. I enjoy signs because they're all different.
Yeah. Well, I got this stuff called, I went and bought a sheet of a keen color core, so it's like black, white, and black. It's all plastic. And that's why I went to Nick's shop to cut out on a CNC. And I don't have to worry about it. There was no painting. There was no finishing. It's all just still hanging up right now. And then I have the customers who I did a sign for. I posted it about it. And then I sent her an email. I was all excited about it. It looked great. And she comes back with that's not as big as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, my gosh.
What? You literally signed a proposal with this exact dimensions on it. And I went to Vectric and gave you a rendering. This is what it's going to look like. I went to SketchUp, put it on your building, on SketchUp, on the picture, whatever. Mm-hmm. There it is.
Right.
And she wasn't satisfied, and she complained about my price, which was less than $500.
Oh gosh, that barely covers a durable, HDU or whatever material you're making out of. I mean, that's that stuff's $150.
Well, I mean, honestly, it was a couple pieces of exterior grade lumber and a piece of PVC that I cut on the CNC, and I painted the letters and I glued it to the white. But I also had to paint her facade before I attached this sign up on her building.
Right.
But anyway, I mean, I offered to fix it, make it bigger, but I was only. I mean, it would have made the font look weird, and she just she wasn't grasping that. So I just she paid, but I let it go. So I'm probably becoming more of a sign guy, I believe, which is fine. I'm not well versed in signage, so some of that stuff I might have to farm out to real sign companies. Like, hey, you want to do this?
Yeah. Well, as soon as you get that 4x8, you'll be fine. You'll be on your way.
Well, we got several guys around me that are cabinet makers. There's a guy up the road here who makes his own cabinets, and I've talked to him about it. It's kind of something like Nolan does. A couple other people I knew, they'll actually make the parts, the carcasses, and then sell them to the cabinet makers, so it saves them a step. So he and I have talked and chatted, and we'll see where that leads. But I like tools too. So if I've got a big old paperweight sitting in the shop and it's just gathering dust, then that's not right. It's not making no money. So that sounds kind of stupid.
But
no.
So what's the one tool purchase that you've regretted buying?
The one tool I regretted buying. When we did started upstairs renovation in August of last year, I had to have my little pancake air compressor crapped out on me. So I had to have something to run my framing nailer up there so I could put down the subfloor. Because I use ring shank nails. I went back and put screws every so often. Mm-hmm. So I went and bought this Cinco air compressor from the big box store. I was like, oh, this ought to work. This ought to be great. It's great. It's compact. It's light. I can use it and travel with it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you get about 4 nails and it's out of here. It's got,
really?
So slow. It just sits in the shop. It's probably good enough for pin nailers, maybe a brad nailer if I got to go to a job somewhere. But that's all it's going to be good for. It was a waste of money.
Yeah, every time I walk out of that big box store, I see the and I don't know why we call it big box store. Everybody knows what it is, but every time I walk out of there, I see the right. Yeah. Every time I walk out of Home Depot, I see the big Husky, 60-gallon compressor, and I'm like, I can't justify it, but I want it.
Yeah. Well, I've got a 60-gallon in the shop. It's 60-gallon belt driven in the shop. But it's just my shop's 100 feet from the house, so there was no way I was going to be able to run the air hose to the house. And so I ended up using bottles of nitrogen from work. I would take a 90 of nitrogen and run an air hose at the end. I had all the air I wanted. I could shoot a nail from here across the street.
I'm coming to 4th of July at your house.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Well, we live on 40 acres, so we got a little bit of room.
Oh, yeah. You have a good 4th? Did you guys do a big we do fireworks out there?
We went to fireworks the night before at our local town here, and then my wife and kids and my mother-in-law went out July 4th night when we got back from the lake. We went to my Aunt Uncle's place at the lake. He rode the boat and tubing and all that jazz and hamburgers, hot dogs, all that kind of stuff. So everything good for us.
Nice. Yeah, that's a lot of land to keep up with.
Nah, we have Mennonites who rent the farm side, and they do soybeans and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Amish Mennonites, whatever.
That's good. Helps pay for some of the land then.
I called it the Bonnet Brigade.
Nice.
Because they'll walk up the street in their long dresses and their bonnets. Also, I call them the Bonnet Brigade.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like you might have some good furniture builders nearby if you decide to branch out.
Nah, they don't care. They don't care about that.
Besides the signage and stuff like that, like how do you come up with your ideas for your projects, and like what's your inspiration? Where do you go for inspiration?
Typically, it's just things I'll see on TV or on the internet. If we're out and about, like we'll go to Hobby Lobby a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I walk around Hobby Lobby, and I've got an Etsy store, and I just don't put no time into it because I don't have any time to put into it.
Right.
And but I'll see stuff, and like my wife will say, "Hey, you ought to make that," and I can sell those locally, like the jack-o'-lanterns or the little jack-o'-lanterns made from pickets, wooden pickets.
Right.
That paid for my Fuji sprayer because I made a bunch of them.
Right.
But inspiration comes from a little bit everywhere. I'll snap a picture. Yeah. If we go somewhere and I see something that's cool, I'll do that. I would love to be able to go into making like furniture or if I have to do commission bills, I would love to be able to make stuff that's more artistic and more one-offs than I would just building a bench or something.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But,
not tables and credenzas.
Yeah. I've got SketchUp and I'm maybe 20% versed in it because it's my hand-eye coordination with the pencil and the iPad. I'm just like, I don't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta, it's always a process. I don't understand the process, but
yeah.
A lot of things I do and how I build is just kind of goes by the seat of my pants. I mean, I have a customer that, client that wants something, I'll draw it up for them real quick, most times on a piece of paper with a pencil that has sharp lead. And, yeah, and a lot of times that's all they care about. And if they want SketchUp, I'll do it. I have people send me pictures and stuff. Like I just took a commission a couple of days ago for a kid's bookshelf for their room, and that's like it's just a bookshelf. And she said, she's like, I know you can build this. I thought, oh yeah, I can build that. I said, but I can't do it for the price of that picture.
Isn't that
you
funny?
Sent me.
Yeah, isn't it funny? They always crop out the price, and all you got to do is one little Google search.
Yeah,
and pulls up it on Pinterest or whatever, and boom, there's the price.
But I also got to be real too. I can't sit here and think that I'm going to make my money off of, if I told this girl, bookshelf, $800, no problem. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. So I got what to do. I want to work so I get my name out there more, or do I want to just make a bunch of money off this customer and never see that customer again? I'd much rather have that customer for life than I would have it just for one time.
Going back to when you were talking about walking around Hobby Lobby, what's interesting when you said that is I'm literally editing a video right now for YouTube, and that's my family, we were walking around last weekend at Hobby Lobby and picking out stuff because I'm doing another laser video.
Right.
And so part of it is that's where I get my inspiration from as well, is walking around Hobby Lobby and Michael's and stuff like that. And the challenge though is my wife wants it right now. She doesn't want it in 2 months. So we're walking around the store and she's put things in the cart. I'm taking them out of the cart. I'm like, I can make this. She's like, yeah, but this is a 4th of July thing, and 4th of July is this weekend,
Right.
So yeah, that's the challenge. But
I just got my laser fixed, which is I'll have a little Orchard Laser Master Pro 2, I think, and the motherboard crapped out on it, so the new board came, and I was homing in the wrong direction. I was
Oh,
like, what? And so I got with Orchard Support and Jason Sullivan with JM Sullivan Woodworks helped me out a whole lot. And we figured it out. And then about the same time, another laser company reached out and said, hey, you want a 20-watt laser? Sure, I need something I can cut because my Orchard doesn't cut squat. And so I said it. So that's coming next month. So it's
X-Tool?
No, it's Algo. It's the guy who invented Orter. They broke off.
Okay.
He left Orter, so he started his own laser company. They're really new. We'll see how this goes. You know how the Chinese, they want the moon. They want you to basically give them a full-fledged commercial once a week for 6 months. And it's like, it's not happening. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've talked to several people about those brand sponsorships and stuff like that, and it's really interesting. That you can tell the people who are kind of new to the space of dealing with content creators, because they think that they are, these huge brands. It's like, you're not Home Depot, you're not Lowe's, you're not a big company at all, and you want to send me one little, I say little, $700-800 tool or whatever, and you want me to do a full YouTube video on it? There's no way. That's not happening.
I'll tell you, a tool company you see a lot on Instagram sent me something for my DeWalt 735 planer that I told them that I already had.
Oh yeah.
Well, you don't have these. These are 30% bigger. Okay, well, fine, send them. They're literally the same darn thing. So I made a quick reel, and they went off, and I get it. They took the reel and they took me off. They stopped giving me props for the reel. And I noticed the video. I was like, hey, I even sent them a message. That looks very familiar. At least give me props on it.
Yeah.
I get it. You sent me a $30 tool that you have now used multiple times. At least give me credit for it.
Right.
And they were like, oh, we're so sorry, blah, 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 blah. Can we see these? No, I don't want nothing else. Just give me credit.
Yeah. Because they're like a one-trick pony company too.
Yeah. So they ended up taking their table, their whatever off, and put them back in the box. And hopefully somebody down the road needs some tables. And I'm like, hey, they go free. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. One time I put out a video. It was a mask video, and the company contacted me and they're like, hey, can we use your stuff? And I said, well, yeah, let's talk. What are you thinking? And they're like, we'll pay you. And so they give me a dollar amount, and I was like, done. I've already made the video.
Right.
You can use this thing to Kingdom Come and take my name off of it if you want. But then there's others that just, they expect you to make, like you said, 10 videos and in a short time frame. That's super frustrating.
And I'm not a like with Harvey. I saw the benefit of what they were giving me. Yeah, I didn't get paid by them, but I feel like I did get paid because I didn't spend over $3,000 for this piece of machinery. And it's mine to keep. And so I look at it that way. I haven't really been paid money wise for content. Maybe because I don't ask for it. I don't know, but I also don't get I don't go out looking for people to send me free stuff. I don't. I try to build relationships.
It's 100% about relationships. I think a lot of people miss the boat on that.
Yeah, like Nick over at Montana Brand Tools, he and I became friends over the years. And he sent me one thing last year as part of my giveaway. He says, I'm going to send you one as well. And that's all I've ever gotten from them. And I don't outwardly go asking for free stuff. I just don't.
Right.
It's just not my thing. Hey, I don't want to have to be held to their standards as well. But in the meantime, also, if I need it, I'm going to buy it. If I'm not going to use it, there's no need for me to get it from you because I'm never going to use it. and it's just going to sit in my shop, and we're going to have a bad relationship because you'd be like, you're not using my stuff. Well, because I don't have a use for it. You know, I don't want to be that way either. So,
no, I think it would be nice if there was some sort of, like actors, they have a actors guild. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it now, but union. So people have unions and stuff like that. So it'd be nice if we had a community, a content creator union where there were certain wages that you get.
Well, that will come into tiers as well, because you'd be like, okay, well these content creators are up in this tier, and then you got different tiers. I don't know if that would differ, because there's some content creators who content to me is boring, but yet they have hundreds of thousands of followers or subscribers. It's like, but it's boring. You know?
Yeah.
I'm
to each their own, right?
I'm just being honest. Yeah.
Maybe you need to show some feet pics or something.
Right. Well, nobody wants to see my feet. That's for sure. I've been wearing steel toes for 29 years. They're not sexy at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Your only feet fan thing is not working out for you, huh?
Not really. No, it's not bringing in dollar bills. It's maybe bringing in a penny or two here and there.
But crack Billy. I mean, you're an HVAC guy. You could show some of that.
Well, it's funny. I have two Instagram pages. One is the Broken Lead Woodworks. The other one is my personal page, which is private. And I might check it once in a blue moon.
Right.
But honestly, if I kind of want one of my videos over on Broken Lead to go, I'll switch over to that one. And I'll go over there and just like hit heart buttons all up and down my own stuff. You know, just like, there you go. Maybe get a little bit of a boost.
I think we've all tried it, you know. I've done a lot of testing and it doesn't seem to pan out.
She doesn't see my stuff, and she rarely likes my stuff.
I mean, my wife's the same way. Sometimes I'll show her some stuff. She's like, okay, cool. You know, but then other times she'll surprise me and she's like, wow, that was really cool. I'm like, oh, you saw that?
When she sees the benefits for her, then it becomes awesome. Like if I make like these little hat holders I made one for a girl of hers at work for Father's Day. A little tabletop hat holder, put your hat in there. I took a V-bit and I put dad. I actually made a joke. The only ones I didn't get was baby's daddy or sperm donor. You know, they said dad, daddy, papa, that sperm donor or baby's dad. On the back, I put on there like love so-and-so. Well, she took that one to work, and all of a sudden I got inundated like the last week before Father's Day. And I was like, oh, I ended up making like 7 or 8 up. And which is pretty good. And so she's like, hey, you got a business venture here. You should work on this. This is great. I don't want to do production like that. That's boring.
I watched, I can't think of the name of the guy now, but I came across a YouTube video, and the guy, he was from Texas, but he was going through college, and he made those stands that for Father's Day, basically. They're the stands that they're like a valet tray, but they stand up kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And you saw that video, and then the dude ends up making like, what was it, like $2 million or something like that on these things. And like his parents, he started employing his parents, and now he's got this huge shop and warehouse making things out of these 2 pieces of wood. Yeah, and just a super cool, simple idea that you've seen out there, but he took the market share and ran with it.
The you ever seen the shibumis? It's like the one pole tent you take to the beach.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was invented by 2 dudes from UNC Chapel Hill. We have one inside our garage. The price point on that thing is like $250.
Wow.
It's literally a tent pole with like a run of tent material and a string. Yeah. And they had a picture from July 4th weekend of one of our local beaches, and it was nothing but those up and down the beach.
Wow.
I was going, those dudes are nowhere near a beach. They are somewhere being fed strawberries and
Right.
you're counting your cash because they made, and more likely they probably sold their company to someone else to manufacture. They made a royal mint off of it, more likely. But it's just
$20 in materials, $200 sale price.
It just takes that one thing that just blows up.
Yeah, if we could just find the one thing. The pencil clip was not mine. I thought it would be. Yeah, it's hard. You know, I filed for a patent and the whole deal, but just didn't pan out. And it's hard working a full-time job too, and doing real. This.
I made a joke. I keep a list in here. It's right there actually of all my things I need to accomplish between my goals for this month, my goals for the week, my goals for the day. And one of them is to finally build my website. I've got a landing spot and it sucks. It's just my picture, a couple links, and a phone number, and that's it. I need to have, my portfolio, what I do, contact page, about me. I got to do that. And finding time to do that is so difficult. I want to open up a Shopify so I can sell all the product I got in my shop right now that I can't get rid of. That's listed on my Etsy store. I can't get rid of it because it's just sitting there not doing anything but collecting dust.
Yeah.
So I got so much I need to do. I need to learn more about SketchUp, and now I'm really liking the Shaper 3D stuff. I jumped on the Kickstarter for the Shaper Trace for the SVG.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's going to be bonkers to be able to draw like that, like take my kid's signature and make it an SVG and then cut it or engrave it. It's just going to be awesome. When Shaper came out, people were like, "Oh, damn, like nobody wants to add LCZ, Now they're everywhere. Now I'm going, well, maybe I want to get a Shaper 3D Shaper. Maybe I can use a Shaper.
Yeah.
I want to make.
It is nice to be able to take it wherever you want to go and be able to plop it on a work surface. Yeah,
and then you think about doing inlays at a customer's house or a business somewhere, or let's say some like a upscale bar wants you to put their logo on all their tables. If you got that set up, you could do that easily.
Right.
But that's probably one of those tools I really don't need, but I like to have. It's almost like a lamello. Do you really need a lamello? No, but it's cool to have. Yeah. Or the Panther router, which I think would be awesome to have. It's just one of those more luxury tools that's like you might use it 3 times a year and that's it.
Right. Yeah, the Panther router is one of the tools on my list. I said I was going to buy it this year. Here we are in July, but it'll happen. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
Well, I'll tell you the biggest thing I made this year different wise has been I jumped on the QuickBooks bandwagon for my business. And that has been because last year my accountant was like, "Oh, yeah, thanks for the piece of paper with the numbers on them. We need a little bit more detail." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, you're just
can I get something other than a soiled napkin with a receipt?"
Right.
Attached to it. Yeah.
Now with QuickBooks, it's just a little bit easier. Take a snapshot, categorize it, and done with it. And everything is there. I'm just trying to build up my business credit more than anything else right now.
I'll look forward to having you back on when you make the leap and see how everything's going.
Oh, it might be a few more gray hairs in there.
Yeah. Well, you have more gray hairs than I have hair, so that's that's all good. Unless you flip my head upside down.
Right.
Well, let's head over to that after show.
Oh, juicy time.
Yeah, that's right. It's time to get loose. The hat's coming off, folks.
Look.
Yeah, let your hair down. Well, hey, if you're listening to this wherever you listen to your podcasts, go check us out on YouTube, and there you can kind of interact with us a little bit more. You can, if you're not into the YouTube thing and podcast listening on the drive is your thing, whenever you get to your destination, if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and and do a review for us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to this. Would appreciate reviews. I was looking through some of the reviews this week, and it was encouraging. And so that helps get this podcast out to other people. And so speaking of other people, we've got a number of top tier patrons that I like to mention at the end of the episode. So want to say thank you to, in no particular order. Well, actually they are in particular order of the way they signed up, but you know, that's beside the point. Jimmy McAnally, Wimm Design, Calvary Customs LLC, Cleancut Woodworking, Bailey Thompson, Dave Garcia, the one and only Mike with Broken Lead Woodworks, Stark's Lagoon, Sawyer Design, Kodama Design, Dylan Furniture, Shock the Fox, and Don Patterson. So if you want to be part of that awesome group and any of our patrons, we've got the Rockstar, Groupie, and season ticket holder levels. So you can get in as little as $3 a month. Head over to patreon.com/Maker Lounge Podcast. What say you we head over to that after show? Oh, thank you also to Surf Prep for sponsoring this podcast. And head over to surfprepsandy.com and enter the code Maker Lounge, so that way I can buy more Amazon packages. Most of it's audio equipment that I end up pouring back into the show. So
I ended up restocking my 3x4 sandpaper. I placed a order with them a couple weeks ago. I had to use some for this project I'm working on, and came lickety split, so it comes really quick.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Well, thanks for being on the podcast, and we'll talk to you here in a moment in the after show.
Let's do it.